Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ian with Out of This World Reader, and today's video is going to be another seasonal TBR, and that is going to be for the upcoming summer months. I really enjoy kind of putting together these little seasonal TBRs, and I think summer is one of my favorite kind of seasons. It's warm weather. I'm tired of all this snow and sick of just cold weather, but I'm excited to show off some of these books I've selected. They're just a bunch of different genres, series that I've got on my bookshelves that I really want to dive into. And some of them are themed towards the summer months. But without further ado, let's just hop right in with these little picks that I've kind of selected. One of the books I really want to check out this summer is Beach Read by Emily Henry. And that is mostly because it is centered around beaches. And since I live in the middle of the United States where there are no beaches, I'm hoping that this will kind of transport me somewhere to a place that has some beaches. But I've heard great things about the author. I've got another book of hers that I'm going to be diving into soon, People We Meet on Vacation. But I've heard great things about Beach Read. It's centered around these two authors that are going on this kind of vacation, and they're struggling with a writing block. And from there, they kind of decide to switch genres. They both are involved in different genres, and they switch. And then from there, I believe things kind of start to happen, and maybe some romance occurs. And I've been really trying to get into some more romance in general. But this one I feel is just perfect because it involves beaches, and I don't know what else summer kind of involves besides some beaches. The next book that I'm looking forward to getting to is The Girl with the Loudest Voice, and I've heard that this is very emotional and it packs a punch. It's got lots of deeper meanings going on with it. It's got a lot of kind of great reviews from what I've seen. And it's just, I'm not sure really what's going on, but I believe it follows a young Nigerian girl who is on her journey to kind of like get an education. And from there, she has to deal with some struggles with just overcoming the obstacles that she faces. So I've heard that it's very emotional and it'll kind of just, it really packs a punch. And I'm really looking for just books like that to kind of give me a deeper messages. So if you've heard anything about it, please let me know, but this is one I really want to dive into. A mystery and thriller that I really am looking forward to is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. And it's kind of hard to determine whether it's going to be a good read or not. From what I've heard, it isn't that good, but then I've heard some good things about it. But I've had some kind of good luck with some of his other books. Survive the Night, or not Survive the Night, what am I thinking? What is it? Home Before Dark and Lock Every Door. I really enjoyed those. But I believe Final Girls, I believe. I think so. I didn't really like, so I'm hoping that this one is just as good as Home Before Dark. Home Before Dark was probably my favorite mystery thriller that I read last year. But I believe this is a cat and mouse kind of thriller where this young girl is kind of struggling with her past as one of her friends had kind of been murdered by the famous kind of campus murderer, I guess, and she's traveling back home on vacation with this mysterious guy that might be the campus murderer, and she's trying to kind of uncover whether he is and whether she can trust herself because she's kind of dealing with her past. So if you've heard anything about it or if you've read it and you think it's great, please let me know. But I really just want to dive into it anyway because I always enjoy mystery thrillers, and this one sounds pretty interesting. This next thriller I've been meaning to get to for some time now, but I've decided that this summer I'm finally going to pick it up, and that is going to be The Chain. But I mean, this just sounds whack to me. I mean, it's centered around this kind of plot where your kid is kind of kidnapped, and to get your kid back, you have to go and kidnap another child, and it just continues on the chain. And I believe that it's just following this kind of these parents as they're having to kind of deal with getting back their child and figuring out maybe some way how to kind of stop the chain. But very interesting, and I've been meaning to get to it for some time. I have the ebook already on hand, so I just have to dive into it. But I'm always looking for more kind of like high stakes thrillers like this where a lot of things are on the line. So if you know of any others, please let me know. Since finishing the Mistborn trilogy this year and absolutely loving it, I really wanted to check out more Brandon Sanderson's works. And since I had the whole, or not the whole because it's not complete yet, but since I had the first 2 books of the Skyward series of his, I feel like I can't go wrong with picking these up. I've heard great things about this, but it's his sci-fi series following Spensa as she's trying to get into this academy for these pilots that protect the humanity from the brink of extinction from this alien race. This is constantly kind of battering Earth and kind of causing havoc all the time. But she's struggling to try and fit into the program because her father kind of fled in one of the battles and she's kind of dealing with the consequences of that. But I've heard that she is a pretty badass character and just is a rebel and does whatever she wants and kind of tells people off. So I think she'll become a favorite character because I always kind of like those kind of characters that are like that. But since I love the Mistborn trilogy, I just don't think I can go wrong with this. It sounds really interesting. I'm always looking for more sci-fi books, and since this one is kind of has humanity like on the brink of survival, like they're struggling. I think I always like those ones where they're kind of like on high stakes, like things are on the line there. And I believe the 3rd one is going to be coming out very soon, so I can just binge this whole series and then read that 3rd one and see how I feel about this whole series. After kind of experiencing a little bit of folk tales and folklore in Spinning Silver and Uprooted, I really wanted to check out more. So I found the Wolf and the Huntsman, but this is centered around like some Hungarian and Jewish kind of folktale. And since I've never experienced that, I really want to check it out. Other than that, like I really don't know what's going on. I just want to check out more folktales. But it's got a blurb from Naomi Novik, a favorite author of mine now. And it's got another blurb from the author of The Bear and the Nightingale, which is another series that I really want to check out. But other than that, like I have really no idea what's going on. The cover, outstanding, but if it involves a wolf and a huntsman, some folktale, I think it's going to be just a great read. Also, when thinking of summer, I kind of think about sitting around a fire and kind of telling ghost and scary stories. So I figured I should pick up a little bit of horror and some scary books this summer as well. So I really want to check out House of Leaves. I think it's been gaining a lot of hype lately, and I really have no idea what's going on with it. I just saw a review of it on Jeremy Fee's channel. It seems very kind of creepy and just kind of all over the place, but a lot of people say they were freaked out by it, and I'm always looking forward to kind of getting freaked out a little bit and scared because I'm a scaredy cat and I hate horror movies, but I enjoy kind of being scared, if that makes sense. I don't think it really does, but yeah, I just like being frightened all the time. So I'm hoping that it'll give me some summer shrieks and just frighten me a little bit before fall, because that time I'm going to be diving into a lot of horror, so I'm going to kind of prep myself up a little bit for it. This year I also made it a goal to check out a lot more classics. I'm very inexperienced in it. In school we were never really required to make or read any classics, sadly, so I really haven't read much in terms of classics, but I've really kind of made it a goal. So this summer I really want to pick up 2. And that first one is going to be The Great Gatsby. I've heard great things about it. It's one of the ones everyone kind of recommends. So I feel that's a good place to start. I also have The Picture of Dorian Gray, which is another one I've heard that is great to kind of start in the classic genre as well. But the one that I really want to check out is War and Peace. I know on my anti-TBR video it was on there that I would kind of maybe never read it. And that was mostly because I heard nothing about it, and it's a giant book. But since a lot of my booktuber friends kind of said that it's really a great read, and I love historical fiction, so that is kind of what's centered around it. It's the kind of original historical fiction from what I've heard from them. But I think it's going to be my goal to kind of split it up throughout the whole summer, and that's just going to be my summer goal, is to finish War and Peace. So you, all the viewers out there, got to hold me accountable. I'm going to set a schedule, and I'm going to finish War and Peace this summer. Mark my words, if I don't, I don't know what, let's come up with a punishment here. I really want to dive into it. I actually looked up the premise, and I'm actually intrigued now. Like before, like I didn't even look it up. When I did the anti-TBR video, I was just going off my guts that it was just too long, and I won't read it, but I looked up that premise, and now I'm intrigued. So, summer goal, gonna read the whole War and Peace. Another series that I've heard great things about is the Legend series by Marie Lu. This is an author that I really want to check out in general. She has a lot of great books that I really want to check out, and I saw in Luke's room that she has become a auto-buy author, and there's just like a bunch of other books that I really want to check out. I believe it was like Sky Hunter, really seemed pretty interesting to me. And since I already had this one on my shelf, I figured I couldn't go wrong with picking it up this summer. But I kind of have no idea I'm going to be going in blind. I believe this is kind of a YA dystopia, and I do love some YA dystopia sci-fi. But other than that, like, I have no idea what's going on. But I've heard a lot of great things about it, so I don't think I can go wrong with picking it up. And the last of my kind of summer TBR is going to be starting and maybe getting through most of the Dune series, and I know that's very ambitious. The Dune series is very long, but I really want to just start picking this up, just maybe the first one before the movie comes out, the movie adaptation comes out. But this is one that I've heard great things about. Jeremy Fee is kind of rereading or kind of reading the whole series, and just his reviews have kind of intrigued me to finally pick it up. It's kind of centered around a desert world, and I always, for some reason, like deserts and desert worlds are always interesting to me. I always like Tatooine in the Star Wars, but this one, like, just a sci-fi classic, and I feel I shouldn't be on BookTube, and I shouldn't be kind of talking about other sci-fi books unless I have this under my belt. So that is going to be a summer goal for me, is just diving into the Dune series. Frank Herbert, great author, I've heard, and I don't think I can go wrong with picking up this series. And just in general, like these covers, these new covers, I don't know what it is, outstanding, and I just absolutely love them, and I can't wait to just dive in and then check out that movie adaptation when it comes out, hopefully. With COVID kind of ruined everything, but I think it's going to be coming out soon, so I'm excited for that. But those were just my summer plans, and really it's just going to be kind of a mood read for the whole summer. I feel like these ones are the ones that my mood is kind of leaning towards, so I'm really hoping to dive into those. Let me know what your plans are for the summer. I'm really intrigued to see what you plan on picking it up. If you have opinions on some of these books that I've picked up, and if you've read them, let me know your thoughts. But I hope you all have a splendid day, and I really want to leave you with a message from Ellie, who says that adventure is out there. So I'll catch you next time. Bye.